Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, the Good Actor Studio of Marietta, Georgia, my coffee shop at East Lake, Pastors Time International Bible College, Augusta, Georgia, with Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, Creekside Dental Incorporated of Douglasville, Georgia, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson of Maryland, Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography by Clark Garrison, and Positive Power XXI Christian Media and Radio Network with Journey Was Live worldwide. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and tune in again. Embrace the journey with Paula G.
Thank you to LMB Tax Service, underwriters for My Journey with Paula G. LMB Tax Service is the premier company. LMB Tax Service offers information on the tax law changes, the most overlooked deductions, and what to bring to tax preparation. Thinking about setting up a business? LMB Tax Service provides information on the process. Visit LMB Tax Service at lbtaxservice.com for more information and for your tax service needs.
It's a praise party. We're gonna praise him all night long. It's a praise party. We don't know when we're going home. It's a praise party. We're gonna praise him all night long. It's a praise party. We don't know when we're going home.
Ain't got no worries, ain't got no stress. Opened my eyes and I knew I was blessed. Been a long week, whole lot of gloom. I need to dance, y'all give me some room. Don't need nobody to wait up for me. I'm gonna dance till I get free. Yeah. Look at the devil, he's getting all excited. Somebody tell him he's not invited.
Praise party.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna
Praise him all night long.
yeah, 'cause it's a praise party. We don't know.
When we're going home.
Yeah,
It's a praise party.
it's a praise party.
Praise him all night long.
It might be after midnight, I don't know.
Praise party.
Yeah, we don't know.
When we're going home.
I check your name and you're on the list. Blessings are coming, the show won't miss. There are some things that we need to fix. Somebody homeless, somebody been sick. Lay down your purse, take off your shoes. God's been good, gotta spread the news. I see the devil, he's getting all excited. I thought I told him he's not invited. This is only for God's people.
Praise him all night long.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
Praise
we
party.
don't know what time.
Don't know when we're going home. Praise him on my left. Praise him on my right.
Yeah, come
I'm
on.
gonna praise him all through the
You ought to get up right now.
It's hard, I don't know.
I know it gets hard
about you,
sometimes.
but I'm gonna praise him until
Somebody need a
I get
breakthrough
my
here.
breakthrough. You can't dance
Yeah.
in 3-inch heels.
Just tell the Lord.
Tell the Lord just how you feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't need nobody to wait up for me.
I'm gonna be home late tonight
Gonna dance until
till I get free. Listen. Yeah, 'cause it's a
praise party.
come on, let's praise him.
Praise him all night long.
Everything that happened, come on and praise his name.
Know when we're going home.
Yeah, it's a
Praise
you ought
party.
to lift your hands right there.
Praise him.
Welcome to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. We thank you so much for joining us each and every episode. We thank our underwriters and our supporters of My Journey with Paula G, because without them, without all of you, this could not be possible. So we are truly, truly appreciative. Well, each week, I always start with a gem from one of the jewels that are on this journey. And today's gem comes from Pastor Tiffany Pringle of the Diamond Movement. And she inspires and encourages each and every one of you to dream bigger than your biggest dream. The biggest dream that you have, you think about that, you envision that. You know, the Bible says to write the vision, make it plain. You write the vision, you make it plain, and then you dream bigger than that. You don't lose sight of that dream. You don't lose faith. You stay focused on your goal, and those dreams and the bigger dreams will come true. So prayerfully, that encouraged someone today. Well, with me today is my sister. She is no stranger to this set. She is no stranger to radio. She's no stranger to TV. She's my sister in radio, my sister in TV. She is an author. She's an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and inspirational guru. Did I get it right? Inspirational guru. She is Lekeisha Mosley. Thank you so much. I got to get another hug. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. You know, when I think about these words from Pastor Tiffany Pringle, I thought of you. Dream bigger than your biggest dream, because I believe the last time you were here, you had a vision of some of the things that you wanted to do, but since then you've done so many other things that are probably greater than you could have ever imagined. Is that so?
It's very true. Yes, absolutely. Literally just allowing God to evolve within me, just taking his direction and letting him lead. And he truly has given me everything that I've asked, more than I can ask or think. Yes, absolutely.
So tell us a bit about because I want to talk about your radio show and your TV show and some of the experiences that you've had. So share with us about your radio show.
Wow, so my radio show is the Lekeisha Mosley Show. It's really, really awesome. It really begins to talk about those things that I was afraid to talk about all my life, those hidden and unseen issues that I had throughout my entire life, just as a young adult, as an adult, with family, with colleagues, just living life, and with my marriage. Just really wasn't open for it, to really express it. But now, literally trusting God and let him heal me in those areas. I'm more open. I'm speaking about those things. So now the show is really tailored around that, talking to people that have those same issues, that are influencers, pastors, authors, that are in big business, that really doesn't, really feel comfortable talking about anything that's personal, the deep, dark, and ugly.
Yeah.
So I leave that atmosphere open, and it's a safe haven for people to begin to talk about those things that they don't want to talk about.
So in the course of those conversations, because I've listened to your show, and you're very engaging, and you get your guests to engage and share their journeys, and as you said, you have the ability to get them to share things that they may not have initially intended, to share, but through the process, it's a blessing not only to them, but to the listeners as well. So I know you make your guests feel, very comfortable. Have you had an experience with a guest that has particularly stuck out with you, or something that has been significant that you have remembered or has been memorable?
Yes, definitely. I have one guest that's an author, believe it or not. Her intent was to really talk about her book and talk about just the different aspects of the book. And throughout our conversation, I always have a topic, and I always tell my guests, listen, the topic is not something that you need to focus on. It's just something that's going to guide us in conversation.
Right, foundation.
Really, absolutely. And it's going to be all about you.
Right.
But nevertheless, I said one question in one of the topics that I had within that, and it really opened the door for her to begin to express, some of the things, that she was having within her life that she didn't feel comfortable with before the show. And she said, wow, I really felt really comfortable, and I felt like God wanted me to speak this. So they just go on, and they began to express some of those deep secrets that they didn't plan on before the show.
Right. Well, and as I said, you create that atmosphere of comfort for individuals to share. So what kind of feedback have you gotten?
Oh, wow. So the feedback is really awesome. A lot of people really call and they really express how they want to come back on the show. Just how you began to talk to me about something that I didn't feel comfortable with. And I could bring those aspects to my audience. So a lot of feedback is really, I want to, continue this conversation within my life. So thank you for opening the door for that.
I know that must make you feel good when you have that experience happen. And then you have TV, the Lekeisha Mosley show. You're out and about and live remotes. How has that experience been?
Oh, it's really been great. It's really been something new for me. I never envisioned that just something that I thought was cool was going to turn into something that was that big and expressed among others. It's been really great being able to sit down and having conscious conversations about, just life, and nothing, no pressure, just really begin to talk about, what's on your heart. And it's evolving more and more within people, and they begin to share nuggets, definitely wisdom nuggets among the audience, yes.
Wisdom nuggets. And so recently you had an experience, you were live down in the southern part of Maryland, I believe. And it was at an event, and the community just embraced you. They just embraced you. And it was a community that probably all of this was kind of new to them. This was a new experience to them. So how did that feel?
It really felt good. It really felt good. Definitely, it didn't start just with that event, but it started before the event. Coming out to Centerville, Chestertown, Maryland, definitely coming out to one of the events they were having, being able to express, our love for the town and just sharing love with them, being expressed with things that were, I would say important to them. And then expressing things that were important to them. They said, wow, she really cares. She really wants to be here, because I do. And they began to show that same love to me.
Yes, that's amazing. That is amazing. And I know that with these new opportunities, the TV, the radio, you're still a mom, you're still a wife, you still have a full-time job. So I imagine there had to be some adjustments in your daily schedule.
Yes, it did. It's something that I had to go back to the drawing board to make sure that I had some healthy balance between everything.
That's a good way to put it, healthy balance.
Yeah, sitting down with, my husband and even our children, just saying, hey, listen, I'm going to be away just a little bit, but it's not going to take away from our town. So just sitting down and talking about those things, being to talk about, okay, what do we need to do for us first? Because it's family first. I'm always about that. And then I'm able to tailor the shows around that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because I know a lot of times, people get so engaged and so involved in what they feel God is calling them to do. And that's a beautiful thing. But you got to take care of home first. You got to take care, of home first. So your book has been doing well.
Yes, it has.
Your book has been doing well. So tell us a little bit about that and some of the experiences that has, or doors that has opened up.
Oh, wow. My book, Free Yourself, has been just totally transformational. It's been embraced within the community here, and they really get it. It's really my heart. It's really my story. Just how God has evolved me from a really broken heart and spirit, and really has healed me from a lot of areas in my life, and he showed me how to give those wisdom keys to others. So definitely it's really been a blessing. It really has. So the community has embraced it, and really is being moved around. The word is out.
Yes.
Yes.
The word is out. Lekeisha Mosley, she is on fire. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. She's had just a wonderful journey since our last conversation. And when we come back from the break, we're going to continue this conversation with Lekeisha Mosley. This is the Paula G Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
I want to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, what you have been through, or what it looks like, God has the master plan for your life. And he can turn your worst days into your best days. He will give you beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. God will move you from pain to purpose. So you be encouraged on today. From pain to purpose, been through some tough times, but never stop letting the light of Jesus shine. I'm determined to pass through these tests and trials. I'm focused on my destiny and what God has for me. Been through the valley, been through the fire, been to the mountain, walked through the flood, but through it all, I'm standing stronger. God was there all along. Been through the valley, been through the fire, been to the mountain, walked through the flood, but through it all, He carried me, and now I'm finally free. Oh, faith to purpose. I'm going from faith to purpose. Oh, faith to purpose. I'm going from faith to purpose.
LA, let's get it. Making boss moves, that was his ticket. Till I got the call, I thought I lost it all. A mama broken hearted, a family feeling lost. Having faith, you see, we put our trust in God. We got D, long live the boss. He's got his angel wings and a fresh start. From pain to purpose, I got a new heart.
I'm determined. From pain to purpose, focused on destiny. I survived it all. I survived it all. From pain to purpose.
Welcome back to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. And we are here with Lekeisha Mosley. She's my sister in radio. She's my sister in TV. And she's been sharing all of the wonderful things that has been happening to her and that have been happening to her, and the doors that God has been opening for her since her last visit with us. And she's just living proof that when God opens a door, sometimes He opens an unexpected door, but when He opens the door, we have to have the faith and the courage to walk through, because on the other side of that door is a blessing, not only for us, but for those to whom are receiving the blessing, because so many times God uses us as a vessel, and indeed He is using and continues to use my sister as a vessel as well. Speaking of using my sister as a vessel, I understand that you have a vision for a series of healing conferences to come. So share with us how that was birthed and what your vision and goal is.
Well, I'm really excited about talking about this. Just healing in so many different ways. Most people, when they think about healing, they're thinking about going to the doctor. They're thinking about receiving a prescription. And okay, now I'm going to be okay.
All better.
Yes, but really that doesn't really heal the effects of what was happening before. What's causing you to have the symptom? So really my conferences is really going to talk about, the before the symptom is, pronounced by doctors, before any type of mental illness, anxieties, before, depression happens. What happens before that happens? And my conferences really talk about that type of healing. So it's really going to express really just healing in families, healing as far as understanding co-parenting, beginning again, that God is not done with you yet, healing when it comes to your health.
Yes.
Healing when it comes to different aspects in life. If you never had any type of revelation when it comes to having whole relationships in all areas, we're going to talk about those areas. So definitely it's going to be an exciting event, and it's really talking about just letting God evolve in you, because He's not done with you yet.
Right,
You always can begin again.
And I love what you said about determining the symptom, because what I heard what you were saying is not only medical symptom per se, but like you said, a lot of times our illnesses that we develop are birthed out of a symptom from something that has occurred, stress and anxiety, something that has occurred. And a lot of those things in our lives, a lot of those negative experiences manifest in a physical ailment. So it requires us to kind of peel back those layers, which is a challenge in some communities and some cultures who don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely. So that's one thing that is so important for us to uncover. A lot of times we're so used to, I would say, past experiences. If we grew up that way, you're going to act that way now.
Right.
So sometimes we have to peel those areas that we were so used to in order to really get to the nugget of the issue. A lot of times we're mad at our brothers and sisters or our colleagues because someone rejected us back in the past because we're bullied.
And we're still holding on to that.
Absolutely. So not so much as talking about the issue, but bringing on others that have been healed from those issues. And they can show you just some keys and how they've recovered from it and bring you around the journey now today and how you can exist whole, healthy, and full of life like God intended.
And you bring experience to the table, the background. You're known as an inspirational guru. So you have the experience, you have the education in order to hold these conferences and have these conferences. And that's one of the visions that you have moving forward in a quest to help so many people, through that healing. I think that's so very, that's so very important. And then also your experiences that you shared last time were just incredible, and to see you now on the other side is encouragement to, we all have a journey, we all have situations in our lives, and this lady right here is just a witness to the fact that you can overcome. You have to go through, right? You have to go through and you have to deal with those experiences and deal with those emotions and peel back those layers. But, with the Spirit of the living God in each and every one of us, He's there with us. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. And as long as we keep our eye on Him and have faith in Him, He will see us through that journey.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. A lot of times we forget that God is with us.
Yes.
God is with us on our journey, not just to speculate, just to watch. He's with us to take our hand to each part that we need to have. A lot of times we look at different aspects of our life and we think it's a failure. No, actually God wanted you to learn a lesson at that road. Right. And then He's going to take that courage and He's going to bring it over here because you learned, holding back from some of those things you used to do where you used to fight back.
Yes.
But God was showing you patience.
Yes.
Endurance.
Yeah.
He was showing you certain things in your life. Honestly, He was giving you the equipment that you need for your journey in the future. Because a lot of times if we don't get those nuggets now, then we won't be able to sustain, in the future. So that's the more so a lot of times we don't think about that because we're thinking about the things that we're dealing with right now. But a lot of times God really wants us to be able to take every experience, understand there's no failures. Think about those perceived failures. That's what we think. But they're never failures. They're always a lesson.
Yes.
So God is wanting us to go on that journey and really learn those.
We have to have the discernment to recognize the lessons, in them. And sometimes it's difficult because we have to hold ourselves accountable.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sometimes you cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, oh, God. And God's like, you dry your tears. It's okay.
Yes.
But I promise you'll be stronger when you interact with this again.
Right. Did you ever imagine that you would be sitting here on a TV show, not only being interviewed, but having your own show and being the one who interviews others? So you've been on both sides of the...
Yes, it is definitely eye-opening now. I say, wow, I didn't envision it to be like this, but I knew God always is going to do something great in my life. When I began to trust Him, when I began to allow Him to do big things in my life and not, me knowing all the parts of the puzzle. We're not supposed to know everything.
Yes.
He's supposed to know everything. And when I let Him, take the lead, and I go in the back seat. That's when He's opening up these doors. So
was that a little scary at first when you?
Yes, absolutely.
He's like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna let go.
Yes. And that's when he gives you the people that you need, in order for you to have courage and in order for you to gain the wisdom. You're not doing this alone. So definitely so many great mentors.
Yes.
Like my sister Paula G. Definitely. Just being around her, just giving so much nuggets. I really appreciate that. And that's really what gave me the courage to keep on.
Yes. Wow. Well, I think I asked you this question the last time, but since the last time, so much has changed. So I think last time I asked, if you could go back and talk to, a younger Lekeisha, what would you share with her? So maybe the question this time is if you could go back and talk to the Lekeisha that was on the other side of this journey, what would you share with her?
Wow. I would tell her that God is always watching you and that you are never without knowledge and understanding, and that knowing that you're not ever doing this alone, that gives you the courage to keep going.
Wow. So share with the audience your social media, how they can stay connected with you, and then also your book once again. And the title of your book.
All right. So my book is Free Yourself, and it is on pretty much
all the social media platforms.
Yes, all social media platforms ready for purchase, and you can catch the Lekeisha Mosley Show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be amazing.
So on all the platforms and your website. It is LekeishaMosley.com. So it's LekeishaMosley.com. Okay. So they can go to your website and learn all about you.
Absolutely.
All about you. Thank you so much for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on My Journey with Paula G. And remember, dream your biggest dream and then dream bigger than that. And remember, the greatest conversation that you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Are you listening to God's still small voice? Until next time, embrace the journey.
Cut. Awesome, ladies.
All right.
Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, the Good Actor Studio of Marietta, Georgia, my coffee shop at East Lake, Pastor's Time International Bible College, Augusta, Georgia, with Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, Creekside Dental Incorporated of Douglasville, Georgia, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson of Maryland, Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography by Clark Garrison, and Positive Power XXI Christian Media and Radio Network with Journey Was Live worldwide. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and tune in again. Embrace the journey with Paula G.